Hello and welcome to this channel, everybody. This is the Eradicator, and today we have an Inside Star Citizen once again. You know, guys, Thursday night, Friday mornings, wherever you are, my friends, is the moment that we're spending together to discuss what's happening with CIG and what they decided, what they deigned to show us. Because yeah, they're not really show us a lot. Despite what they're saying, they're not communicating a lot because, well, let's face it, guys, the show here is once again below the 10 minutes mark, which, in my opinion, is not acceptable. A good weekly community show, in my opinion, should be about 20 minutes with more details about what's going on. But, you know, it's their editorial choice, and more power to them if they want to keep some comment for future weeks. I just don't like that. But we're starting right now. Let's make a little stop here. This is something that we had a preview of a couple of days ago. And I thought, yeah, maybe that's the new Pole Orisar. But they're talking about the new ship stations, the new exterior variations that are supposed to come with 3.6. If it's not getting delayed to 3.7. And I thought that I was under the impression that we're going to get the same rest stop stations that we're currently having, but with, you know, different layouts, and maybe an antenna will be placed somewhere, or the hangars will be on an extremity of the station instead of the middle, things like that. But it looks like I was wrong, and apparently, if what they're showing us is true here, we're definitely going to get something much more impressive. And I have to tell you guys, I was totally blown away when I saw this morning. I just woke up, I was taking my breakfast, watching the show, and I was like, oh my gosh, you know. So let's go check it out. I like it. They have this little aurora here just to show the shell. But look at the size of that thing, man. This is absolutely huge. Eddie Hilditch is showing us here. Yeah, it looks a little bit like the ICC station. I like that they have all these rings here that are going to provide with artificial gravity, I guess. And it looks like we're going to have these hangars here, either on the side or on these extremities here. How are we going to get from here to here? Is there going to be a transit system, or is there going to be a teleportation elevator, so to speak? You know, these elevators that we're having right now. This is going to be very interesting to see. Look, it looks like we have, you know, also some inner hangars inside. Here the hangars outside. So they're also testing here to see, you know, where the hangars should be placed. But I really like that Star Wars-esque looks of these stations here. This is quite different from anything that we've seen so far in Star Citizen. But if these could be some of the new rest stop stations that we're going to see in the future, oh yeah, that's going to be awesome. If this is what's going to replace Port Olisar, why not? You know, maybe they're going to put stations like that around, you know, Arcorp, or maybe Hurston. Haven't been to Hurston for a long time. How come I forgot the name? Anyway, if they put some of these stations outside of these planets, which sometimes, you know, it's annoying for us to go through the atmosphere, travel all the way to the major landing zone, take the metro, and so on. So if we can have, you know, some of these stations that are going to spare us the effort, like Pol Olisar does, that would be great, especially for those who are, you know, traders and don't really have time for all the transit time. So again, they didn't give us all the details here because the show is only 10 minutes long. It's not even 10 minutes, 9 minutes and a half, without all the fluff. So they're showing us also how the procedural tech here that they are using to create these stations. Yeah, lots of different configurations that are, you know, actually possible. Look at these. Look at these. There's that round one. There's that Port Olisar looking one here that we currently have with Port Olisar. They're going to show us more later. I'm going to try to skip over there. I like how these long branches here towards this hangar, but I really hope that there's going to be some sort of transit system that goes back and forth. Otherwise, it's not going to feel very realistic. I was watching the video that the games made earlier this morning. One of his followers said that he wants to have a penis-shaped station. That really made me laugh so hard. Technically, that could be possible, eh? Look at the scale of that thing. Let's make a little break here, a little pause. Look at how huge that ring is. Of course, this is not going to be fully explorable. Um, we're not going to dream of it. Probably just a little tiny fraction of it is going to be possible. When we get to these hangars, maybe there's going to be and a teleportation elevator that's going to take us from all the way here, all the way to maybe a central hub that will be here. They didn't give us any details here. They actually didn't even tell us if that's actually what we're going to get in 3.6. It could just be, these could just be experimentations too. So I guess we'll have to stay tuned. They probably, so what they usually do with these Star Season episodes is that they keep content for the next episode. So I would not be surprised if next week they talk about these again. But yeah, this is quite some exciting news here, talking about brand new content that we're gonna have in the future. I'm all for it. I'm just a little bit saddened that we didn't have much time to talk about it. Let's go further in. Look at these hangars here. Yeah, baby. These are exactly the same type of hangars that we have at the rest stop stations. Yeah, but they didn't say how we're going to get from these hangars to the main part of the station, or if we're even going to get there. I know at Port Orisar we don't, for example. Most of Port Orisar that we're having right now is just for the visual experience, but we can't actually get there. I'm not even sure we're actually ever going to get there. Anyway, coming up next here are work here with the bartender, and they did a lot of mocap because they want to rework the bartender. They want the bartender to feel more realistic and not just serve whiskey just like we're having right now when the bartender is working. I'm sure it's not even working because of all the server issues, but they want people to always, and this is what I really like about Star Citizen, is always that aspect of realism and feeling immersed in that whole universe out there. And they really want the bartender to reflect these ambitions that they're having for us. They really want us to feel, when we go to a bar, they really want us to feel like we are in a living, breathing bar. And so they recorded 30 different cocktails for the bartender. And these are just cocktails, of course. Probably, he's going to do lots of other things too. Maybe serve us some coffee. I don't know. But lots of different animations, new dialogue lines. And they had this entire mocap, fake bar with an actual actor who was, mimicking what the barman would do. Pretty impressive. Now, you would say, Irad, is this really important right now? Irad, you always talk about what's important for the game right now. And here I'm going to say that yes, I do believe that this is important, not because he is a barman, but because this is a test bed for all of the other animations that they are going to do, for all of the other NPCs that are going to populate, or this living, breathing universe that we're gonna play into in a couple of years. So they need to have at least one of these NPCs that, with all of the animation, all of the work that they require, so that they know how much work they're going to have to do in the future with the other NPCs that are going to have their own animations. They need to know exactly what to do. They need to know how they can optimize that work. They need to know how they can be more efficient at their work too. So they need at least one test bed for these kind of NPCs, and that's what the bartender is. So you got to look at, when you look at these things, you have to look at it from the point of view of a game developer, not from the point of view of a player. So that's why many people who say, yeah, but we don't need the bartender to work. We need the AI the AI pilots to work better. Blah 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 blah. That's because you're having a look at the game from a player's perspective. But it's this is still game development. It's everybody's gonna say, and I hate when people say that to me, but this is alpha, so it's not even alpha yet. It's pre-alpha. So we need to see things from a developer's perspective, and so that's why they're doing that, not because they want to add any coolness or adding some elements of realism in the game. Of course they do, but that's not the main purpose. It's because it's the testbed. Anyway, the third segment of this Around the Verse show here, the Aegis Vanguard rework, and I gotta say, man, I wasn't a big fan of the Vanguard. I actually melted my Vanguard, but when I look at how badass this is, I actually might unmelt it too. This is the face of fear in Star Citizen. They actually, let's go back here. Poop, 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 poop. There we go. They were telling us how, these elements were glowing in the actual concept images of the ship that we had back in the days. I think that was in 2014, if I'm correct. And they said that they were, basically when the ship was out, these effects were not there. And this is something that was still in the pipeline and they wanted to do. So that's why this was actually a part of the rework, to make the ship feel a bit more menacing. And that's what they're doing here. I like that very much. If I'm flying a Vanguard, man, I want my opponents to feel it. I want my opponents to say, "Oh my gosh, this is a Vanguard. We're gonna get it now." And these are some of the effects that I want to give. Look at that. The missiles here are being shielded by that metal part here. That's also pretty cool. They've made the whole thing a little bit sleeker as well, a little bit more bulky in the interior, because there's going to be like a mini studio apartment inside, basically, which is going to allow you to go on long range missions, which makes it quite appealing. Imagine, the new 300 series rework, but on steroids. That's what this Vanguard is going to be. And I cannot wait to get my hands on it. I'm probably going to melt it if I have a chance. I just love it. I just love how it is. I just love how it is. And look at the back. This is also something that I was not really happy with the previous version, where they had that bar that was linking the two tails of the Vanguard. Now they have these very tough columns here on the side, and this brings a type of feeling of solidity here that the back of the Vanguard didn't necessarily have. I also like that work very much. So I think that here CIG did a really good job. Was it necessary? I wasn't convinced before, but I'm starting to think it was now. I definitely cannot imagine having the Vanguard the way it was before. I really love all these reworks and these changes that they've done. So please tell me in the comments down below, do you own a Vanguard? Are you excited about what they've done? They also tell us that they kept the tires here, just like the original concept, and also the tank tracks for the back. I don't know if we're actually going to be able to drive one of these ships. I don't think there are any options. It doesn't make any sense to have wheels on ships, man, because we just take off and land. We don't taxi these ships like aircrafts do nowadays. So are we going to have an opportunity to do that in the future? Is it going to be planned? I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's maybe for realism, when these ships are going to maintenance in some kind of hangars done by NPCs. I don't know. But it's just the cool factor, and this is always something that's very important for CIG, so we need to take that into consideration. And that's all for today's episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching this show. I think I'm gonna talk about the giveaway now, so don't go anywhere. This month I got a giveaway. I'm giving away a Tomb Ranger CV. This is the perfect little space motorcycle if you want to do planet-side delivery missions. All you need to do to get a chance of winning is to subscribe to this channel and to make sure to comment to any videos I post this month. The winner will be announced in a live stream giveaway that will take place early July, so good luck to everybody. Once again, guys, this is the Eradicator. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want to be informed on a regular basis for Star Citizen or any other types of video on a regular basis. Don't forget to smash that like button if this is the type of content that you like, and I'm gonna be signing out. Bye.